Welcome to Reality After Show coverage of Deal or No Deal Island. That's right, the Dondi After Show, Season 2, Episode 5. I'm Johnny Fairplay, but holy moly, we got some island royalty here. Kim Matina. Oh my God, Season 1 would not have been Season 1 without you bringing yourself, your forces, all things that are wonderful in life against Boston Rob.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on today to talk Dondi because I'm loving season 2. I loved being on it, and you know what? Deal or No Deal was awesome. So I got my little teeny tiny bit.
I think you made the most of every single second because I'm sitting there. I never watched Deal or No Deal, the little game show thing.
Right.
I probably watched a total of, I don't know, 5 minutes. I'm just like, there seems to be math. I don't,
You do math.
Who's got time to count? I'm trying to watch TV and relax here. And then this comes out. It's just like, yeah, it's kind of like Survivor, and I'm just like, eh. And then rumor and innuendo, Boston Rob's going to be there. I'm like, all right, count me out. I've hit my Boston Rob limit. I'm good. And someone's like, you got to watch it. And I'm just like, I don't really have to. There's not a rule. And they're like, no. There's this old lady, as Boston Rob refers to her, that is coming for his ass. And I'm like, oh, that I like the sound of that. Okay, so you get thrown out there. You're all fishes out of waters. Because this is a brand new show. Just like the first Survivor, there's people. It's just like, I'm gonna base my vote on alphabetical order. There's no rhyme or reason. And then Richard Hatch creates the alliance. With this, it's just like, I don't want to go against the banker. If you go against the banker, it's like, well, maybe you determine your fate by going against the banker. And and you eliminate who you want. So there's a huge learning curve manifesting itself, and you're all mostly newbies. You are allegedly a newbie, but peek behind the curtain, there's a game called Sequester that is just as hard, just as difficult, maybe without the elements, but it's essentially Big Brother.
It's kind of a cross between Big Brother and The Genius, a Korean show.
Okay.
That is amazing. If you haven't ever watched it and you've got, a rainy Saturday, look it up because The Genius is amazing.
So,
and it was, I might have played it beginning with season 1, the long game online. Audrey needed an older female archetype to fit in there, and she already knew me.
Yeah.
And it's like, Kim, would you play? So
you guys are related, right?
Huh?
Aren't you and Audrey related?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought okay. She just
really, really good friends back before she was on Big Brother.
Okay. Yeah. And for those of you who don't know, Audrey did Big Brother and then created this, what was for a few years, a phenomenon called Sequester.
You know what? Sequester was the pandemic relief for anybody who loved reality shows.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just, the virgin players like myself at the time. But like I said, I played the long game online. I did the live game. And then during the pandemic, did the mini.
Yeah.
And which you also played. We weren't in the same one, but
I did a Survivor one, and I had
amazing.
I had both of my kids here, and I kind of peeked behind the curtain. I told the other it was a Survivor Sequester, and I told them, I was just like, look, I got both my kids here. I know how long this goes. You're not gonna lie to me, because I think we started at like 8 o'clock, and it's just like, you could probably wrap up by 11 or so. Lies. I'm like, this thing's going till 2, 3, 4 a.m. I ain't got time for that. I was like,
Mhm.
however, I'm here to help. I love all you guys. I want to promote. I want to make this. I want to get some views. I was like, around 10 to 11, anytime in between then, I'm easy. Anytime between then, vote me out. I got 2 kids. I'm not staying up that like I'm an old man. Leave me alone. But I was just like, but I'll give you 2-3 hours. And as I said, like you don't even have to nail. It's like 10 o'clock on the dot. Let's vote out fair play. Have fun with it. I don't care. Because you go to
Right.
the little rooms, you can see what it's like. Hey, maybe fair play thinks like let's get someone else out. Like we can use fair play's exodus to do what we want to do. Oh hell no! Second person, we got to get rid of fair play because it was all a scheme, and fair play just said he wants to win, and I'm just like, win what?
You lucky you got out when you did, because I think Abby Maria and Kellen Bechtold
Yeah,
were the final 2. The sun was coming up in
4,
LA.
4
Or-
a.m. 4 a.m. Yeah, no, it was insanity. And so,
Yeah.
and I knew that. And as I said, I was just here to help. But if you look at those viewers, it's like 25,000 viewers, whatever. It was like insane numbers, and they vote me out as like 4,000, and I'm like, what are you doing?
It was ridiculous, the number of people that were online watching. I mean, it was not ridiculous. It was amazing.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
again, it was pandemic. You can't go out. You can't do anything. People were
yeah.
scared, but people were not scared in Sequester, and they were there to watch you and all these other Survivor players. And it's like, this is our Friday night.
Yeah.
And it
Well,
was
you
awesome.
won. And so, as I said, I'm a second boot. You won.
I won the live game. I won the mini I was in. I only played in 2 minis, which was Winners at War, and then the one I won before that, and then the long game, which went for 9 days.
Yeah,
and that was the very beginning of it. And I did pretty well in Sequester. Yeah,
you're good. You're a great player. So you show up on Deal or No Deal Island season 1, and as it's all noobs, except as I said, I don't consider you a noob. Okay, and immediately you're just like, hey, see that guy right there? That's Boston Rob. He's got to go.
I knew. Oh, please. We're at the airport in where we went. We're at the airport, and I walked in and I see from behind, and I'm like, looks familiar. So I kind of maneuvered my way around. Sorry about the cat walking behind me. I kind of maneuvered my way around and sat down. I got out my makeup and looked in the mirror to see who was behind me. And I was like, shit.
Yep.
And I went over to my handler and I'm like, please tell me he is here to host a comp, maybe.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you anything. I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay, great. I'm going to end up playing against Boston Rob. First outing in a national TV show. And they were ready to hype it, as the season 1. And I was like, crap, of all people.
Well, I mean, but you were perceptive enough to be like, this guy's got to go.
Oh, from the jump. I mean, I was willing to work with him for maybe a round or 2. I told him till 8, but that wasn't going to happen. And I came out on fire. I had to. I had no choice. He was coming for me from the beginning. He's like, she's not going to bring any money in on the cases and all this. So he wasn't willing to let me play. And that's why I had to out him early. Yeah. I had to, because there were a couple people Stephanie knew who he was. Amy knew who he was, but not everybody did.
No. And you can say all day, like, hey, this guy played Survivor. You cannot perceive the danger element that this guy presents.
Exactly. And then when I went in and got the $1 million case, and, there's so many things that were cut out, but literally I was up there negotiating to have Dawson admit that he had that $1 million. I didn't know who had it for sure, but I knew who the first people were up on the dock.
Yeah.
And I knew that Rob was one of the first ones, and he would not have been up there if he didn't have a big case.
Yeah.
So I knew I was screwed from the start.
Yeah.
And I didn't wait 64 years to go out first at the hand of Boston Rob. It wasn't, it couldn't happen. It just couldn't. And that kind of set the ball in motion. And yes, Rob and I butted heads. I like Rob. Don't get me wrong, because outside of the game, I like Rob.
Yeah. And it was fun TV.
Oh, he's great TV.
You were great TV. I mean, as I said, no one had on their bingo card for 2024 Boston Rob versus Kim Mattina.
Nope, it was not. But you know what? It was so much fun to play. And hey, I got 4 episodes. I didn't go out first or second or third.
Yeah, and you literally carried the story arc for the first third of the show.
You know what? I didn't expect that, but I knew I would be involved just because of what I was playing.
Sure.
But I had no idea that there was going to be Kim in the mud. Here's Kim missing with a bow and arrow, with a crossbow. Oh, here's Kim doing something else. And Rob and I, and you know what? It came down to one episode, and it was either Rob or I was gone. I knew he was getting rid of me. He was not going to keep me in there.
No. I think the viewers knew, but as I said, it was mano a mano. It was like, this is for all the marbles. And I think if it goes the other way, you're there at the end and not paying attention to the fact you can't peek on other people's puzzles.
Exactly. But no, you know what? He was, God, it was fun playing against him, though. I didn't want to, but it was fun playing against him. And we're seeing so much of that now in this season, too.
Yes.
It carried over, Johnny.
So fast forward season 1, we got 1 Boston Rob, 1 survivor. Fast forward season 2, we have 1 U.S. survivor that now everyone is fully aware of. We have 1 Australian survivor that only one person's aware of, and that's Parvati. And then the Bankers mean twist to everyone there. Dr. Will arriving a little late, but there's 3 heavy hitters. So
absolutely,
if you watch season 1 and you're just like, all right, well, if there's anything I learned, if there's a Boston Rob here, we got to get rid of it.
You would think so.
There are 3 Boston Robs, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So they don't know the power and the greatness of the Golden God, because he's doing a pretty good job of playing dumb.
He is doing an amazing job of playing dumb, going from last week where, MG is explaining Survivor to him.
Does that make you kind of gold if you win?
I'm just sitting there going, I cannot believe, but I can believe, because not everybody watches international survivors.
Do you watch Australian Survivor or no?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
absolutely.
so you like, much like you outed Boston Rob last season, if your first season happened to be season 2, it's like, this guy's the Golden God, he's got to go.
As soon as they announced the cast, I'm looking at going, okay, Parvati may be the only one who knows who this guy is.
And she may not.
Huh?
And she may not have.
And she
there's
may
a
not
lot
have.
of U.S. players that have never seen Australian Survivor.
Exactly.
So I do a podcast. I cover it.
Exactly. And I love Australian Survivor.
Yeah.
But so I'm going, well, if anybody's going to know who it is, it's going to be Parvati.
Yeah.
And then to end up that she is the only one who knows who he is. Look at the guy. Okay. Yeah. Just look at him. He is
truth be told, his voice is like, he may be the most beautiful person ever on the planet. The voice is not as tough as you would imagine it. And I'm just like, oh, well, that's where God balanced it out. So
yeah. Big penis, small voice. Okay.
I was going to say, I was like, you think he's got like a really small penis? I'm like, nope. God
No.
just went with the voice. The penis is probably extra long. It's
no, he's good on that, I'm sure.
He's got he's the golden god. I mean,
He's the golden god.
He's not the bronze god.
Exactly. And I told many people that I've talked to in podcasts and just in chats, I'm like, okay, you guys don't know him, but this guy is he's a vicious player.
Yeah.
His first season when he played, I was like, oh my God, I was mind blown. And then when he was back.
Yeah. The retinkering of his game, his second time out on All Stars.
Yes.
So he went in with friends.
Yep.
And he used his friends as pawns. He was just like, okay, I don't care about these people. Matt Rogers, the guy that I should not be working with, that everyone knows that I'm not working with. I'm working with him, and we're just going to move our friends as collateral damage along the battle lines.
100%.
Insanity.
And there's not very many players that you can watch totally, as you put it, remaster their game and get away with it. Especially, it's easier to go from a hero into a villain than it is to go from a villain into a different size or shape or form of villain.
Yeah. So
he did that.
Yeah. Oh, Russell Hantz. You know, everyone's just like, oh, Russell. And I'm just like, Russell Hantz has played the same game 4 times.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
He picks 2 girls, which he refers to as dumb, but you know, we figured out that they're smart enough to get rid of him, so they're not that dumb.
Not that dumb.
And that's it.
And I look at that and compare it to the other Survivor that's on right now with Parvati. And I'm still, even in Dondi, I'm still seeing the same game that Parvati has played 4 times on Survivor. And 4 times, right? Yeah.
She's missing the flirty aspect of her game.
Are you kidding me? She was sitting on the Golden God's lap last week. She was sitting on
stroking him at the temple. But they're not it's one of those deals where the Golden God's married, so he's not going to do anything. She doesn't like guys anymore, allegedly. So she's not doing anything. So you're allowed to sit in laps and pet, and and everyone gets their frills, and we're good.
And Philip's gay, so you know it would seem harmless, but it's still flirting Parvati. Okay. And it's what she does, and she does it well.
Yeah. Well, not with Johnny Fairplay.
No.
we did fans versus favorites together, and I had Bonaducci had knocked out my team, so I wasn't there for long. So, but right before I left, we had walked up to the other side of the island, and she's walking in front of me, and she's swinging that booty left. I have never seen a girl swing her booty more in my entire, and she's wearing a little bikini, and it was impressive. Okay. And we get out there, and she's like, hey, so what are you thinking? And I was just like, I'm thinking I got an America's Next Top Model at home. I'm pretty good. Thanks.
I'm okay with this, Parvati.
Thanks, but no thanks. We walk back. I ain't never seen a chick walk like a dude more my entire life. I was just like, whoa, what happened to the butt swinging?
So you can keep the butt swinging. Just know that.
Yeah, no, that butt swinging's got so. But that moment right there, I was like, wow, like that, like it. There's an on-off switch.
Absolutely, and she's good at it. She's impressive with that.
She's good.
She really is.
So, like, we don't hang out or anything, and and I have my friends and not friends and all that. I will say, I consider her game on Heroes Villains one of the greatest. She didn't win, but I consider that one of the greatest games I've ever seen.
I thought she was amazing. She orchestrated so many things in that game that
with Russell the Meat Shield, not Russell the Genius, Russell the Meat Shield, and nothing more.
And that's the best part of the whole game for me was the fact that Russell thought he was in control. Yeah. Russell had nothing going on and didn't know it.
Yeah, I loved it. So kudos to her.
She did great. And then, and so she sat on David's lap, does her flirting thing, even though it's, kind of one-sided, but I'm sure it was appreciated. Same thing with Philip. And what's left? Dr. Will, who they are nemesis to each other, and Dixon, who, okay, that would be creepy if Mom's hanging out on Dixon's lap.
I was listening to a Dateline yesterday that bothered me, so it's not out of the realm. I'm still convinced that the whole reason Dixon got rid of Storm last week is because he's in love with his sister, MG.
You know, there could be there could have been.
Yeah, we don't know. I don't think it was ever really fleshed out this episode, but
get rid of the competition, not necessarily game wise.
Yeah, so
he had his chance.
Yeah. So all right. Well, let's talk episode 5, Trust Fall, if the title is to be believed, There will be on the coming up on. We will see an 80-foot high Banker's Case Tower. I don't love the heights, Kim.
You don't like heights?
I'm not a fan.
I'm not a fan of height. I mean, I'm okay with heights. Yeah. They don't bother me. I don't like the dropping, swinging motion crap, because we had heights in season 1.
Oh yeah, I didn't like I'm sitting there watching the show. I'm just like, I can do this, I can't do like I feel it depends on who I'm picking the right partner on this challenge, on this excursion, and we'll get there, would be very, because I would need either someone that I need to show bravado to, and bravado, for those of you that don't know, is false confidence.
Right. Exactly. You're in charge.
Or B, someone that will metaphorically hold my hand during this, but yeah, height, it's just not, and it's not like I'm on planes all the time, I can go up. I don't like the looking over stuff, and I don't like the vertigo of it all. I think the main thing for me is when I was younger, I used to have a recurring dream of someone, of like me on the edge of something and someone playing around and like pushing me, but not, and screw, and I die.
Oh my God, that's dramatic.
Yeah. So I feel like it's not, so like on that, it's just like, okay, here's where the bungee cord breaks, or here's where, we forgot to tighten it all the way, like it's not, as I said, the height doesn't bother me. It's the someone else fucks up. And and of course they fuck up with me.
And you're the collateral damage.
Yes. So that's my problem with height.
Okay. Now this one, they were sitting in a hammock though, which I think is kind of a false sense of security when you're up there.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure, but I think they showed Letty was the only one who came down in the hammock.
Oh yeah. Okay. So someone asked if you and I were in doing this excursion, who would pull the? I'm pulling the rope first. I'm letting you know.
What, between you and me?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm pulling first, and I'm hoping that you do not pull the rope on your way down.
Depending on what we had discussed on the way up.
Whatever I'm discussing, I'm not me. The first one I'm pulling.
You know what? And you're fair play.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much I would trust you, but I think it'd be similar to, no, it wouldn't be similar to anything. I would trust you to a certain point based on your fear. And if it was true. And I tend to have a pretty good read on people. And if I felt, okay, you know what? Johnny needs to go down fast.
Yeah.
I would probably try and convince you, let's go for the top one if we're early on. Let's go for the top one. I'll let you pull it. If you've got the highest number, I would do something similar to Letty and say, I'll let you pull it.
Yeah.
To get the top one, but you need to save me. You need to make sure I'm safe.
Okay, that's fine.
And
would you pull it afterwards?
If I felt on those 7 stories going up, any little teeny tiny inkling that you were going to fuck me on the way up there, I would fuck you on the way back down. Boom.
Okay. All right. All right. I think we're on the same page. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like, the title of the episode being called Trust Fall. I think that's pretty aptly named. So
Yeah.
I think we would be good. As I said,
I think we would.
The picking of the partner on this would be the most important of anyone thus far for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The partner picking would be critical here.
And Harmony is not my pick on this one. Dr. Will is not my pick on this one.
Oh, hell no. Hell no. Will, he's really only played out one excursion so far.
Yeah, he's just there for television, which I like and I don't like, and we'll get there.
Let's talk about that because I saw Wes Bergman from a different podcast
challenge and
I would love to talk about that with you for a minute towards the end.
Yeah, we'll get there. All right, so we are post temple, and we're at our post temple dinner. Our biggest money winner so far, Dixon, and we get Dixon with the "Take that, Dr. Will," and I'm like, okay, look. I love the fact we get the origin story of Dixon. He's a little light in the confidence, and then he becomes a member of the family. And this kid's a little asshole running around. I love it.
He is. He's strutting his stuff. It's like, check out my mom and dad.
Yeah.
Dixon, mom and dad do not, you are not mom and dad.
Yeah, well,
okay.
and mom and dad do not mind losing a kid here and there. I feel like they're the parents with like 18 kids. It's like, 16's enough, right?
What's one less here?
Yeah.
Here, we'll buy you your own suitcase.
Yeah, one less mouth to feed.
Exactly. But I will say, I thought that Dixon actually played it. I thought that he made the right move in getting rid of Storm for a long-term game. But I think he was looking too long-term. And
I feel that move was 2 moves too early.
Exactly. I was like, ooh, that could get him in trouble. It's great for the long term.
Yeah. It's forcing everyone else's hand to start playing the second half of the game.
Exactly.
So whereas he had gone just a safe move, I think everyone keeps their weapons holstered.
Exactly. They've got those weapons locked up now. They've already released they've got the trigger. It's pulled.
Yeah. Safety's off. Dixon forced everyone to turn off their safety, which which may be good, may be bad. I don't know. I feel it's bad, but we'll see. Hey, but at the same time, for us as the viewer, that's cool. Thanks.
As a viewer, when you can actually get to the end of the episode going, what?
Yeah.
And
that's the goal.
It happened twice. It's what?
Yeah.
So,
I'm sure Rock's a good person, but the Rock boot wasn't light my fire over here.
It didn't, especially with the edits. And from what I understand, the edits were pretty accurate.
Yeah.
That he just wasn't showing his cards. He wasn't dynamic out there on the island at this point. So as a viewer, it didn't hurt my heart for Rock to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. So I'm seeing the questions in the comments. We're gonna get we're going through in order. So I did pay attention to what Dr. Will did. Speaking of Dr. Will, he thinks that Dixon's a weasel. He will only say that word 12 more times this episode. And MG,
it was a drinking game.
Yes, MG does not love her brother.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
And she probably shouldn't. And that's the one thing I was thinking at the end of that dynamic. Wait, they're trying to bring MG into the family, and her brother just got rid of the boyfriend.
Yeah.
The brother literally booted the boyfriend out of the house.
That happens in real life, though.
Huh?
That happens in real life.
It does.
Yeah.
It's like, you
The,
know what?
the
I really
overprotected brother that may or may not
really
have a
like
crush
you.
on his sister.
I like you a lot, but your brother. Now I can't come over to your house, so we can't go out anymore.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
There we go. Well, we're informed the family is in control and Dixon is an unruly son.
I'm the cool mom. I'm the cool dad.
Yeah.
And the unruly son and the daughter who really doesn't like her sibling.
So well, next we get Philip. We get Philip's origin story, and I am here for this. I had Phil on the show last week, and I love him so much. He explains he was socially alone a lot, and he is there to and with the aspirations of wanting to inspire at least one kid that you can overcome obesity and a speech impediment. Now, I've not noticed the speech impediment a single time on the show by way of the edit. I did have him, on the podcast, and I caught it a couple times. I think it's endearing. I'm just like, how cute is this guy?
I absolutely love Philip. He is really, he's such a gentle giant. He's truly a kind person. And I love him.
Yeah.
And I don't want him going anywhere.
No. And I'm glad we got that because we got the origin story. I was like, oh shit, does Philip go tonight? I was just like this. I'm like, I'm not ready. No, I'm not ready for this. So
exactly.
Not ready for MG either, but I'm not ready for. So it's just, I'm like, wasn't there can Rock come back to go home tonight? Can we
please?
Can we just do that? I mean, once again, I feel like Rock's a great guy. I got a chance to talk to him for 13 minutes, 3 more than I was supposed to. But
Johnny on overtime.
Yeah, well, Rock felt the need to tell the same story he said on the other 18 podcast. I don't. He had to get his shit in, brother.
Yeah, but no, I absolutely. And you're right. When they showed the origin story, when for 4 episodes we haven't seen anything, and all of a sudden it's like, no, you can't do this to Philip, not now, and especially with that story. And I hope at some point he shares some of the success stories in real life that have happened because of what we saw in that origin. I would love to hear
he is officially a friend of the podcast. I plan on having Phil, of course, back talking Dondi. I want him talking Survivor with me. I know he's watching The Traitors. This guy, if you're not following Philip on social media, you're missing out. This guy is loving life. He's embracing it all, and he's got the 3 amigos down in Texas. Him, the Golden God, and Storm. I mean, I would say, ladies, look out, but ladies and gentlemen,
look out.
Look out.
They're down there.
They're down.
Texas is big, but not as big as the 3 of them. I'm telling you.
Well, holy moly. All right. Well, Parv loves Philip, but doesn't feel like he fits in the family. I mean, Parv, it's 2025. You can adopt a black kid. Relax.
Seriously. No, I think that the reason Parvati was kind of saying that is because he's the antithesis of Parvati. I think they're polar opposites in gameplay. And she's thinking he doesn't have any strategy. Well, he hasn't shown her any yet, but
I think he does have strategy, and I think she knows he has strategy. It's not her strategy.
Oh, absolutely.
Why? He's not playing her game, whereas Dixon and MG to Parvati are immensely more malleable.
And now I'm wondering after, because Parv and Philip were partners in the trees.
I think potentially for the last time.
I think it is for the last time.
And if
I agree.
It isn't for the last time, I think they're both showing up with a dagger behind their back, seeing who can pull out that dagger first.
100%. I agree with you, but I think they're going to play nice for a little bit.
I don't even think they're gonna. I think they're gonna play. I wouldn't throw in the second night. I think they're gonna play nice, but I think one of them is gonna throw out something at the end of each conversation. Like kind of, like you never know, and it's just like, oh, I know, bitch.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the dynamic between the two of them now, because I think she honestly believed he was just following her with no regrets and no question of where they lie together. And now she sees that he lied to her in the tree. And it wasn't even a big lie. It was $100,000 lie.
That's okay. But she lied too. They both, I mean, like literally they both showed their car. Like,
at the same time.
Yes. I love that they're both. There's some people that I feel are not playing the game that I want to see, and that's fine. They can go home the next few weeks. But there's some people that I see playing the game, and I don't want them to go anywhere anytime soon. And when they do go, I want a showdown.
Who is not playing the game that you like to see?
Lachelle. I don't love the aunt. I don't love my real life aunt, so I definitely don't love a TV aunt.
I like Lachelle, okay, but I'm really not seeing any game out of her. No. And she made a comment that she was so shocked. She had no idea what was going on with Storm, and then again last night.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you're that completely out of the loop,
then I don't need to invest in you.
I need somebody who's in the loop to stay in the game. So right now, I don't see her for the long haul. If you're not included, you're not included. You're excluded from it.
Yeah. And then I don't love CK. Like, I think CK's playing, but just playing such a horrible game that I can't get behind it. Just because you're playing don't mean you're playing good.
I'm 100% on both of those.
Yeah. So, and Parvati said of all the Dondi people out who would be good on Survivor, she picked CK. Okay. Parvati, it's not true. And apparently that's your new gimmick on doing interviews with people, because sorry folks, Parvati was never asked to be on House of Villains. So when you tell people you turn them down, you had to have been asked first.
Yeah, I heard her say that she turned down House of Villains.
I got a call from a producer saying that's cute, but we never asked you. So season 1, I was the second phone call after New York, and season 2, the only way to follow Johnny Fairplay is with Richard Hatch. So,
which
season 3 phone calls haven't gone out yet.
Which wasn't a great follow, but
I may have mentioned that to production. I was just like, I think I know what you're gonna get, and I got a call in the middle of production going, wow, did you nail that one? Hatch is set in his ways.
He is from what I've seen. I've never met him.
To 2025, 2024 great television.
You know what? And I loved House of Villains. I the first season of it, I was sucked in.
Oh, thank you. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I don't know if it was for me or not.
No, I thought you remember I said it's hard to go from a villain to a hero.
Yeah.
In a House of Villains, I thought you played more of a hero role in there.
Yeah. Well, I'm 50 years old. I have 2 kids. I'm engaged to a trophy fiance. Yeah. You know, what do I really have to be complaining about?
And you were great entertainment. And I looked at season 1 of House of Villains going, it's so campy.
Yeah.
And I'm loving the entertainment factor here. I'm not waiting for, oh my God, who's going to win? Who's going to win? Yeah. As much as give me good TV till the end.
And we understood the assignment. So
you guys knew the assignment. You knew what your roles were. Yeah. And I thought it was great. I need more people, a couple of people that you may have mentioned that need to read the assignment a little bit better on Dondi. Whole different ballgame.
On House of Villains, you like with me with Jax is like you have the ability to sabotage. Okay, right. That's literally production going, hey, someone needs to sabotage. That's what they're saying. They didn't say it, but they said it, and we understood that. On season 2 of House of Villains, there's an FU lever. New York didn't need to pull the FU lever, but that's that's TV. She has to pull the
exactly. They don't put it on there not to be used.
Yes, that's right. And honestly, season 3 of Traitors, everyone's saying how great this cast is. I had a problem out of the chute in that when Boston Rob shows up and you have to shake Alan's hand, no one shakes his hand. That's the FU lever. Shake his hand. I don't care if you like Boston Rob or not. You still pull the FU lever. That's why it's there. And to have the greatest potential traitors on the planet not understand the assignment, that's not the greatest cast.
You know what? And I think a lot of that is the housewives. I think more so the competitive reality players, I think understood, but they weren't going to walk up and shake Alan's hand when you got a majority being housewives and Bravo.
Well, I play that one of two ways. I go up and I'm just like, I'm getting rid of housewives. You know, they stick together. There's nothing I can do with them. I'm never going to be a housewife. Or I get rid of a solid gamer and say, housewives, I did this for you. I'm a housewife.
I'm now a housewife.
Yeah. And they might buy, they might not.
True.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's what makes the show.
Yeah, but when production is like, you have this option, you don't have the option. You do. You have the option to make good TV or not good TV. And they chose in that moment not to, and I don't like that. So whereas we're seeing, you know, your Golden Gods, your Dr. Wills, they understand the assignment, and that's why we watch each and every week.
Right, exactly.
Is Dr. Will doing a little too much? We'll get there.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah. So, all right. Letty and Seychelle don't care for Dixon and are targeting the family. I'm like, all right, knives are out. You got Dixon. You've unleashed Pandora. You've opened Pandora's box. Deal with the consequences.
Here comes all the little evil spirits because they all have a little bit of it in them.
So, well, it's excursion time. You have to pair up, and Dixon is stuck with being Dr. Will's partner. And if you want the case, you pull the rope to release the person across from you. Lachelle wants to be safe at 2 million. Letty's like, that's great. I would like to have the 3 million case. Lachelle's like, I am definitely afraid of heights. And she's like, that's cool. You can still drop 1.7 million for wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's I mean, it's the right move for them collectively because Letty is protecting Lachelle. She's getting the 3 million. She will be like all that's correct. The only issue that I have is if I'm Lachelle, I'm just like, did I mention the whole scared of heights thing?
She's over there shaking and upset and everything, but hello, the only one's going to win at the end. You got to do what you got to do. And I think Letty played it right because they eliminated the top 2 cases that were there.
Yeah. Yep. No, that was the right move. It just, I as I said, as someone that doesn't love the whole height aspect, it's like, man, that's a great move. That would suck for me.
And at the hand of not really aligned, I don't see them as aligned, but they're not playing against each other either. Yeah. So, that's a tough one to take.
So next is Seychelle and CK. Seychelle with 2.5 million, CK with 2.25. Next is David and MG. 2 and 1.9. They both. So this is the one they both pull on the CK and Seychelle. Only Seychelle pulls.
Exactly, and their discussion on the way up, I haven't seen a lot of game out of Seychelle.
Yeah.
Or I shouldn't say game, strategy. I haven't heard strategy from her up to this point, and I'm going, is she going to be riding a coattail here for a while? To hear her talking to CK, and essentially she drove the show so heavy last night.
Yeah, no, she's killed it in her confessionals.
Oh, yeah.
I think she's the best on the show.
She does great one-liners. She's rivaling Will.
Yeah, like my favorite is, well, I mean, I feel like Will's been a little corny on some of his. So, like, I mean, as I said, saying weasel 15 times, I'm just like, when's the last time someone called someone a weasel? I mean, like, it's not cool.
What, she'd rather cry in her Lambo than laugh in a Nissan.
Yeah. So
loved it.
No, she's and like, in the first episode is, like you don't hear the producer, but you imaginarily hear the producer, and he's referring to Luke, and she's like, this bitch. I'm like, oh my God, literally calling Luke this bitch.
Yeah, no, she is great confessionals. She's not a great storyteller that we've seen so far.
Yeah, no.
In the confessionals, she is amazing entertainment, though.
Yes. So, and you've caught little glimpses of her strategy, like here and there, because it's been mostly CK telling strategy, and then Seychelle with the agreeance, or whoever talking strategy. Is it Seychelle's agreeing at the right times because it's also her strategy. I love it. Seychelle is what is in my top players this season, and I have, if she doesn't make it far, I am sad. Like I as much as I like some of my other people, I want Seychelle to go further just for the one-liners.
Yeah, she and having been married to a New Yorker, I know that they don't bite their tongue all the time. They speak up maybe when they shouldn't sometimes. And in a very colorful way.
Yeah, dumb hillbillies do that too, I assure you.
Yeah, but she, I think, is holding her tongue at the right time, giving her opinion at the right time. I wasn't as sold on Seychelle until this week. I mean, she was okay.
You wanted to hear her verbalize her strategy.
Exactly. And now Seychelle is heavy driving the storyline. Yeah.
So there we go. All right. Next is Parv and Philip. They both pull. They're both liars. 1.8 and 1.6. They both fibbed, if you will. And Philip explains to the viewers that he's losing trust in Parvati as a player. I'm like, all right. I think that's going to be important going down the road.
Agreed.
Dixon is scared of heights. It's Dixon, Dr. Will, and 825, 775. Dixon just wants the money. He wants to be done. It's too much for him. I get that. Dr. Will wants to screw over Dixon for the sake of good television. They both pull. It doesn't work out the way that Dr. Will wants it, because he wanted to be the only. He throws a temper tantrum and will not be present for the opening of the case. This is a lot, because what's different? There's literally no difference between Dixon pulling first, them both pulling together, or Dr. Will pulling first. I guess he just wanted the moment of pulling and Dixon not going, or him not going.
I've got a cat that's about to knock something over. Sorry, I had to move his ass out of the way.
Yeah. So you think Dr. Will's just mad that he wanted the moment of Dixon falling and him not, and still getting the same case amounts?
I think that he wanted to drive the drama in that, and part of me goes, he wanted the limelight. He wanted to pull it. He wanted to drop the kid that was scared of heights.
Yeah.
At the same time, he's saying that it was strategy. that he was doing that. That he's trying to, his temper tantrum walking into the jungle was strategy for reaction so that he could play the banker, so that he could be the one to
I don't know
read
if I
the
buy
card.
that.
I don't know.
I mean, I mean, it worked. So, but it's just, it's like a hat on top of a hat.
Yes.
You got the lowest, and just be, and it's not like if you go to if the family were to win this, if you go to the family, it's like, hey, I want to play the banker, the Golden God's like, I don't think so.
Yeah.
So where Letty has no alliance with any, it's just like,
Not
hey,
really.
I want to go against the banker, and I want to make a move against the family. All right, my hands are clean. I killed two birds with one stone. Either you go home, who I don't really care for, or care about,
right?
Or one of the family goes home. Great,
as long as he's keeping his word to her.
Yeah. So, I mean, and as he explained, if he doesn't keep his word against family, then it's two groups going against him.
Exactly. Then he has nobody.
He has no one.
If he screwed him, at least this way, he's got half of them with him. That want to get rid of the family.
So I don't feel like the temper tantrum test. I think he just wanted that moment of pulling. I think he wanted the lowest case. He wanted Dixon to fall and him sit up there smiling because he made the kid that was scared of heights small, and he didn't get the total moment, and he was just throwing a temper tantrum about that. And I'm just like, Dr. Will, you're better than that.
Yeah. It didn't fall into his plans.
Yeah.
Into what he wanted.
He had in his head how that was going to go, and it did not go exactly. And I'm just like, it did, with the exception of you falling too. So, but even if everything goes according to plan, if he pulls first, there's no way Dixon's not grabbing that rope just to as a plea for life.
Yep, exactly.
It's just like, maybe if I grab the rope, it'll keep me up here and it won't fall.
And Mags is over here in the chat going, Dixon screwed Dr. Will twice. Pretty much.
Yeah, no, I am for, this is not the few, I think Dr. Will rides up on the boat, sees Parvati, and is like, oh, it's the Dr. Will versus Parvati show. And you got Dixon owning him. And it's just like, this is not what needs to happen.
The weasel.
Yeah.
The weasel. Now, on the plus side, we did get to see Joe Manganiello, who I swear season 1 and season 2, he wants to play. He's such a big part of the show, but he's competitive. He's very knowledgeable. I love talking to Joe. He's wonderful and can talk about anything. And he got to play when he got to open Will's case last night.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I was happy for Joe.
Yes. So no, he seems all in. It's host wise. Probst is a champ. I saw him flub one line in the 2 seasons I was out there, and it was just incredible. And even no one even caught the line that he flubbed. He's just like, I just want to do that one again. But otherwise, I mean, just perfection. Like Joe Rogan on Fear Factor, he'd come out there. He's like, today's stunt. And he's like, cut and paste, motherfuckers. That's how you make your money. And I was like, wow. I'm like, the guy didn't even know stunt was the next word. That's literally all they do on the show. And he's like, today's stunt. And then you have Joel McHale, who House of Villains, incredible.
I think Joel McHale has done a fantastic job on House of Villains.
He is on everything. I was talking to someone the other day. We're pretty positive he's the killer on the new Scream movie, because he's Courtney Cox's boyfriend in the new Scream movie.
Ooh.
So it's going to turn out that, his cousin was so-and-so, or, whatever. So I don't know, maybe not, but Joel McHale is, and every other commercial has him. Every other show that, that makes it, 1.5 seasons he's on.
yeah. He's on, I don't know how many shows.
Yeah.
And he's excellent. I think he's done a great job. Joe was not a stand-up comedian or anything like that. He's not actor. And last season, sometimes it felt a little forced. You know,
you experienced his growing pains.
This season, I see a lot more of Joe than of, you know, somebody in the background with an earpiece. And I love it. And I need to see it renewed, because I think in a new season, he's going to be in his element. And I think he's going to do great.
It's going to be his show. And just like on the early seasons, there's a lot of people watching for Jeff because Jeff was becoming Jeff. I think there's going to be people watching for Joe because Joe is becoming Joe. So
exactly,
he is a fish out of water in the fact that, you know, he's just like a comedian has that timing to riff, you know, on the fly when they're doing this. Whereas an actor, you know, they're just trained at doing what, you know, like the improv stuff isn't there. And and I think we've seen Joe learning on the fly, and I think he's pushing back some of his acting tendencies and just working on his reactionary real life tendencies. And his real life tendencies, he's spot on.
Absolutely. I'm excited to watch him continue on this path, because I think I want the viewers that have never met Joe. He's going to knock this off the wall. Hold on just a second. Benny, get down. Come here. You need to get down. Oh my God, I'm ready. Now this is going to, hold on just a second. I don't mean to show my ass, but my OCD is going to get the better of me if I don't do that.
Oh, I completely understand.
Okay. Whew, I feel better. Anyway, no, I think Joe's going to come into his own, and you're going to see an excellent host as soon as the viewers that have never met him in real life get to see Joe's actual personality.
Yeah,
and we're starting to see it. And we saw a little bit of it here when he got to finally flip open a case in the second season.
It was cool. Letty has the highest case value. She will determine who gets to face the banker. Dr. Will wants to play the banker. And it's time for dinner, in which Dr. Will tells a very long story of how he wanted to get the lowest case, and Parv is not here for it.
He's like, if you don't want to hear it, leave. Okay.
I'm leaving.
I'm out of here. Let me know when it's done.
Holy moly. This was so bad it was good.
Absolutely. His retell on what happened up there with Dixon.
Yeah.
And Dixon, I just don't think had the confidence to stand up to Will in that moment and go, that's not what happened.
Yeah, no. But it did. I don't think this did anyone any favors, but as I said, more of this, more sloppiness, please. So it's good. I mean, because Will is just so refined as a character. Like, he understands his character, and for him to just shit the bed in this moment, it's great. Because House of Villains, when we filmed when I first got the phone call, and I'm just like, I love the idea, but how does that work? And then when we filmed the season, and there was a lot of anger and vitriol, you know, on some moments, you know, certain buildups on the, and they're just like, oh, how does this work? And then I watched the first episode, and I'm just like, you know, when we think the confessional interview is over, and then, you know, we let our guard down, you know, we exhale and we show that we're human, and, you know, and we are like, oh wow, I'm so glad they didn't show, you know, like, and for them to show for each and every one of us this vulnerability, that's what made, like, it's not 10 of the greatest villains in a house. It's 10 people that have played bad guys in the future, and we're giving you one likable thing about each one of them.
Yes,
and it's
absolutely.
Just like, oh my God. And with Dr. Will being like, this was a vulnerability of Dr. Will. It's just like, no, I really want to tell this story that's going nowhere. That's not really good, but I don't care. I'm holding my ground. I'm just like, I'm here for it.
I just want to tell my story. And Parv's like,
yeah. So I love it. As I said, I think moments like that, it's almost like a peek behind the curtain.
Yeah,
That's the moments that are just more pure than a rehearsed Dr. Will speech, which we'll get to.
absolutely. And I like seeing a little bit of the third wall broken.
Yeah.
And
So,
it, not all the time, but it's nice to see it when it happens,
glimpses.
because we all know what's going on behind that secret curtain. We all know
Yeah.
there's a producer there on every one of the shows that are asking questions, and that's eliciting responses. So it's nice to see something that wasn't prompted or provoked by a producer.
Yeah.
In that. And I think that's kind of the vulnerability that we got to see. On House of Villains, of course, we got to hear that third person.
Yeah.
And I loved that too.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. So, well, Philip is ready to put on the flannels and Paul Bunyan the family. And I'm just like, Philip with another reference that no one has referenced in 25 years. So
Huck Finn, Paul Bunyan. We're getting them all from the English teacher.
Yeah, Philip. Yeah, no one knows who Paul Bunyan is either. So, and what Babe the Blue Ox?
Babe the Blue Ox.
Yeah, there we go.
I think
my childhood was comprised of Tom Sawyer, Huck Finn, Paul Bunyan, Davy Crockett. Do we get a Davy Crockett coming up?
We need a raccoon tail hat in there.
I don't know how many raccoons they have on the island, but if there is one, Philip will find it. And
maybe a sloth tail hat. No, sloths don't have tails, so we can't have a sloth tail hat.
Or with just the leg hanging down.
Exactly.
Great.
A leg with a claw on it.
Sure. All right. 2025, shit's different. All right.
I think Philip's an old soul.
Yes.
That's what I think.
Yeah. So Will makes amends with CK and says MG is his target. I'm like, I don't like this. And then Dr. Will explains, this is the riskiest move in the history of reality television. I'm like, or it's what you guys do every other week on Dondi.
Pretty much. Well, this season for sure. They're doing I loved seeing more strategy, because a lot of that we heard from the fans in season 1 is, well, I don't see where strategy comes into play. Well, that's because it's season 1 and you're not seeing everything on the edit.
We're figuring it out.
This season, you're seeing the strategy. They're editing it into the show so that you can see there's a strategy in the excursions.
Yeah.
There's a strategy in who's going to play the banker and who is going to be in the bottom 2. And meshing those strategies together is not an easy task. You've got to accomplish so much, and you do have to do it with alliances.
Yeah, the last 2 weeks, the excursions are the type of excursions in which you have to show your cards.
Yep.
So that's an element of reality competition gaming that is not used to excess. You break like on Survivor, stack the coconuts in the one, whatever. You're showing you're revealing your alliance. So whereas House of Villains, every challenge is that to
absolutely.
and it's the true gameplay of that show is how long can you drag your feet without showing what you're really doing until you're forced to show what you're doing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And they are doing a lot of excursions that are definitely exposing.
Yeah. That show your cards shit is as I said, I'm cool with back-to-back right here. I would like next week to be a little more hands-off as far as showing your cards, because I need there to be a little more confusion amongst the players so that we see someone go to somebody with something and it's just like, oh, they fucked up. They should not have gone. Whereas you keep doing this show your card shit, no one's going to fuck up because you know everything.
Exactly. I think we need to see a nice mix of those.
Yeah.
I want to be shocked at the ending sometimes, but not every time. As a viewer, I kind of want to know what's going on. So I don't want to be shocked. I don't want to see the cast shocked every time.
Yeah.
I want to see the cast
I
in the know
yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah. I would like,
we need a good mix of that, Johnny.
Yeah. I like, next time I would like I don't know, maybe a Lachelle going to David and saying something that she shouldn't, because this next challenge, it's not one of those you have to show your cards who your alliance is, and they just randomly get paired together and he helps her and she's like, hey, thanks for helping me, let me tell you something you might not know, and it's just like, oh girl, that's the last person you need to be telling that to. Whereas if you keep showing your cards, Lachelle's just like, oh, well, they're really, really locked. Like, I thought they were kind of locked in. They're really, really locked in, and they're really, really against me. I'm not accidentally saying anything.
Yep. So. Yeah, I think by what we haven't seen of Lachelle, what we have not seen of CK, other than, her having her hands in everything the first 4 weeks. This week, she didn't have her hands. Last 2 weeks, she's been the submissive person as opposed to the dominant person.
Yeah.
I think that she could really fuck up some stuff with the family and with the people that are aligning, that are helping her, that have saved her ass for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That she could unintentionally screw them over.
Oh, yeah. So, I'm here for that.
I'm here for it. Absolutely.
Great. I can only, if we're watching a show with, 15 of the greatest strategists of all time, like where's the human error fun of it?
Exactly. So, exactly. There's a couple things I want in a reality show. I want people to root for and people to root against.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't mean I hate them. I want to root against them though. I want the drama. I want the TV, the entertainment, the reason why I flip the button and turn on the Sony. I also want strategy. I want to hear thoughts. I want to know that they're actually thinking through processes. And for those that are not, I want to hear their dumbass comments.
Oh, so yeah. That I can go, please explain to me
exactly.
how you know the game and you're wrong on every element.
On every single count. You're wrong.
Yeah.
And those are what make a great reality show for me. And I want to see the highs and lows and the ebbs and tides.
Sure.
And mix it up. And I think we're starting to see this. And I think it's going to get so fucking messy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, which Traitors 3.
Yeah.
I am here for Tom Sandoval every episode.
He's the worst player ever. But you got to keep him in right now because he's the worst player ever.
If he goes, I'm out. Like I'm like, oh please, more bad reads from Tom every episode, please.
God, he's so wrong every time.
Yeah, it's great.
And I'm seeing some breakout wrongness here in Dondi.
Yeah. I'm good. I'm here for it.
It's like expand on that. I need more wrong.
So, well, Dixon confronts Dr. Will about being a weasel, and Dr. Will says, "You're just wildly untrustworthy." And poor Dixon asked Dr. Will who he's gonna put up if he beats the banker, and he says Nunya, and Dixon says who, and I'm like, oh, please don't say who. He does, and it's Nunya. The only thing that could have been worse in this moment was D's, and he was like, who? And we've got the D's nuts.
D's nuts.
The only thing that could have been worse than Nunya right here.
You hear Nunya. Don't ask who. Just don't do it.
Oh, it was so bad. And Dixon wearing it with a badge of honor, posting it on his Instagram story. Dixon, you're you've won my heart. So, but yes, in the future, whew,
Never ask who.
never ask who.
Yeah, it was just such a kind of an innocent, naive moment. And it's like, oh,
Oh,
Dixon.
yes. So, well, it's temple time, and at this moment, I realized I really not like the name "The Family Alliance" last episode until hearing it every other word this episode, and I feel like I'm over the family.
I am, you know what? I think it's organic. It just kind of happened, mom, dad,
Yeah.
here's the kid. And rather than coming up with some schmaltzy name out there, the family, and what's funny is I don't remember them naming themselves the
No.
family.
The best nicknames are given to you. You don't come up with, on your own. Yeah. Like
Everyone
a
else
fat guy, you call him Tiny. The
exactly.
fat guy's not going around going, call me Tiny.
Call me Tiny. They're not saying call us the family,
Yeah.
but they've gotten that alliance name, and I've rather enjoyed it. And as long as we know who's in the family, it's okay. I'm okay with that.
But I just heard it. I just felt it was said ad nauseum this episode. Like, we get it, like I like it was just if there were 2 less family references this episode, I'm okay. But I mean, I feel like I'm more of a sophisticated viewer than who they're actually going after. So maybe they needed the 2 more for the rest of
For the casuals, sure.
Yeah, for the casuals. They're like, oh, the family. Oh, yeah, the family.
I get who they're talking about now.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. This isn't Peacock exclusive. This is NBC. You got a lot of dum-dums that watch free television.
And I'll tell you, though, and I don't know if we'll get to it, I'm sure, but the one reference you cannot get rid of is Will's reference at the end when he refers to them as the creepy Muppet family.
Oh, yeah. Yes. So
you can't get rid of that one. That'll
be there. So, all right. Well, it's temple time. Letty chooses Dr. Will to face the banker. And so last week we had Dixon explaining the origin stories of each of the Deal or No Deal models from the TV show that I never watched more than 5 minutes of. But apparently these beautiful models had names and hobbies and likes and dislikes and measurements, I'm sure. Dixon knew all of this.
You know what? I knew the names of a few of them. I knew Claudia's name.
Okay.
Because of actually from The Price is Right. She was a Barker's Beauty before she was on Deal or No Deal. Okay. And so I recognized her. Another one I recognized at the airport, but I wasn't 100% positive. And I sat down next to her at the airport and looked over at her carry-on that had a brass plate that said CJ. And I was like, yep, that's Claudia. I didn't, yeah.
So rumor and innuendo is the twist was supposed to be Claudia returned and something happened and last minute Dr. Will got the call.
I've heard that twist. I cannot confirm or deny it. But I mean, Claudia's, let me tell you, the woman works hard. So it would not surprise me if maybe she was going to go back there. She said she would do, if they ever call me, anything for Deal or No Deal for Howie, I'll show up. So I don't know how true that is.
Yeah. I mean, I thought she was a player. I think it adds to the legacy of the Dondi season 1 originals and just the franchise originals versus the Survivor and Big Brother of it all. Right. However, I'm saying more Survivors, please. So I would not be shocked if next season we get a 50-50 mix.
You know what? That I think that could easily happen. I think if they stay with the 13-person format, even though this year it was 14 people. See, I think that they just didn't have things finalized with Will till right before it. I don't know that he was a replacement, but there were too many things put into the mix that I just think it was that he didn't sign the paper to be there for the first episode. But and that made up 14 people. See,
Yeah.
that's the thing. So if they keep it at 13, I'd be happy if they went with 7 virgins and 6, a split like that.
You know what? I also back the one more newbies.
Yeah.
Because the old guard will always have an advantage.
Exactly.
And I think that levels the playing field. I'm for it. I love 6 and 7.
I think that, like you said, levels the playing field.
Yeah.
So you've got the experience versus the number.
Yeah. Love it. I think that format would have been optimal in a no, because the way Survivor works, the 2 tribes, that the returnee tribe is going to win more challenges. So even if you have the extra number, it's they're still going to beat you in head to head more times than not.
Agree. Yeah. Because they've got the challenge experience.
Yeah. So, but this, I love that. Way to go, Kim. Let's make a call to production.
Hello.
Hi. You remember me? I got good ideas. I'm trying to fix your shit.
Trust me, I'm in contact with production constantly about this show. They know I've got ideas. They're just not hiring me for them.
We'll let them know that one. I think that's a great one. 6 and 7.
I think that it would be a good leveler of it.
Yeah, big time. I love it. Will gets to choose. He chooses case number 12 just because it's the highest number and not because of any model that held it after the fact. And then afterwards, he goes 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there are some people that were losing their minds in the temple at this.
Yep.
I don't hate it.
You know what? There was no long story to go with why he chose case number 2, because he has 2 children. No, he's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This was totally the ABC of season 1 of Survivor.
But I here's where I disagree with that. I think there is a lot more logic involved than what you're actually seeing. There's no way that all the high money are the first 6.
No, it's random.
It's random. So just by the randomness of random and the probability of numbers, 1 through 6, 7 through 12, whatever, it's 50-50, either going to work or not work.
It doesn't make any difference if you're picking your favorite numbers or numbers that have meaning to you versus, going, I'll take the highest one from my case and let's start at number 1 and work our way through.
Yeah.
The probability is the same on the first openings.
Yeah. And Will's not the kind of guy that's going to, when I was in 3rd grade, I was in the soapbox derby in Cub Scouts and my car was number 11. No. Yeah. Like, even if that was true, Dr. Will's not telling that story.
He's not telling that. He doesn't. It's not good enough TV.
No.
To tell that story. But it was cracking me up. It was making me laugh so hard as he's doing this. He's like, number 1, number 2, number 3.
Yeah.
And they're losing their fucking minds over there.
How can you do this? How can you not tell a story and pick randomly?
I don't know. He's destroying the game. He's making a mockery of the game.
Yes.
You guys, he's picking numbers.
Yes. And as I said, logically, that makes more sense than picking randomly.
It does.
Because there's 0% chance, zero probability that the highest are the first 6.
Exactly. So. Exactly. The odds of that happening are so astronomical that we'll never see it in the lifetime of Dondi.
No. So I'm just like, guys, this is smarter than what the fuck you're going to do. So my cat's favorite number is 4. What? Is it?
But I mean, it's as good a probability as anything else. And like when I played the banker, I'm like, okay, I'm not picking my favorite number. I'm not, because I want a low case. If I pick my favorite number, it's because I want a high case, right? So I was like, I hate the number 5. I don't know why, but I always have.
Sure.
So I took number 5 for the case. I ended up winning and sending out Jamil.
Yeah.
So it's like, you don't know. You have absolutely no idea. So,
but I do feel, and like I said, as crazy as it sounds, I think that is the most sound thing I've ever heard, ever.
Yeah. What are the odds
picking numerically in order?
Yeah, exactly. What are the odds of the first 6 cases being all high numbers?
Yeah. And the fact that his monotone delivery should make this the most anticlimactic picking of cases in the history of the show. The opposite. They're losing their fucking minds. Possibly the greatest moment of picking cases in the history of the show.
When David was like, he's making a mockery of this. It's like he's picking.
It's grandstanding. It's not cool. It's grandstanding.
He's grandstanding. But then it was so funny when he's like, but it's so entertaining. God, I hate this.
Oh, it killed him. So so we do the 2.5, the 1.9, then case number 3, 250. Why? Because the law's probability state that they're not going to fucking do them all in order. Case number 4, 2 million, all a part of the master plan. Letty is worried, and the banker, she reveals that she wanted a legend, and Parvati says, try again.
Try again.
So the offer is $72,000. Will says he's taking it, presses the button. At this point, Parvati says it's not cool to watch. We hear that it's grandstanding, and Dr. Will goes, hey, just a heads up, that move is not official. For those of you that have not read the rule book, I have, and I was looking to create a moment like this because that's the Dr. Will of it all.
Yep.
And
it's not official until Joe asks, deal or no deal.
Yeah. And Joe's like, as cringe as this is, it's true.
Okay.
I'm not really sure. Apparently. So for the record, Will asked production this before they went up there.
100%.
And if I'm production, I do not tell Joe. Because I think the confusion of Joe is just as good as the confusion of the others.
Joe's reaction, I agree with you. I don't think Joe knew that they were like, hey, you do whatever you want. Here's what the rules are.
Yeah, because I think an overproduced show, you tell Joe, and then you miss that Joe of it all.
Yep.
And the fact that Joe's just like, he said it. Oh, nope. He did. That doesn't count.
It's like, I was waiting for him to press the earpiece and be talking out the side of his mouth.
Yeah.
But his reaction was, if he knew, then it was a phenomenal acting job. Give him an Oscar.
And as I said, if I'm production, there's no way I'm telling him, because he is on the new side of hosting. There is a simplicity to him versus the polished hosts that we see. So as the purity of that moment, I think, is ruined by telling Joe beforehand.
It was so authentic. Yeah. I loved it. It was like deer in the headlight. Look, can he do that?
So some people are saying that's too much. That's Will making it about it. Okay, well, Will is going to make it about him. That's why he's there.
Yeah.
So
that's why they hired him.
Yeah. So I don't think it was too much. I thought the temper tantrum in the woods was too much, because I get it. It didn't go exactly as planned, but it was what it was. So and just regroup.
Right.
So, but this one, I was for this all day. I love the picking of numbers in order. I love the monotone of it. I loved taking the deal, but I really didn't take the deal, and I tricked you. And it's just like, oh my god. And as you said, the Golden God's just like, fuck this guy. I love it.
I love him, but fuck him anyway.
That's great.
I like seeing the Golden God and Parvati get outplayed in this moment. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And I think as reality players, as seasoned veteran reality players, that they appreciated it for what it was.
They got out televisioned.
Yes, that's a great way to put it.
And they are used to out televisioning.
Yep. And I think that's why we're going to see more mess and more mess. I think I'm waiting for it to hit the crescendo because we're not there yet.
Yeah, no. So the offer is 72, no way. And Parvati says that Will is the worst contestant ever. The Golden God says he's good.
He's
case number
good.
5.
He's got it.
Case number 5, 3 million. Case number 6, 500. The offer is 168,000. Looking at the two sides of how this could go down, it's a good deal. Dr. Will takes the deal. $1,000 in his case. It is, in fact, a good deal. And it's the battle of the letters. Now, I made fun of CK and MG on episode 1, going, what's the difference? Are they the same person? Who's to say? That resulted in me having MG here on the podcast and pleading her case. MG, first episode, not the best edit. I don't know. Your problems with the editors, not mine. Since then, MG has got a lot of airtime. MG is super fun to watch, especially when she wears her robes to the temple, because she doesn't have a lot of clothes because she's from a poor town in South Carolina.
That was a beautiful dress last night from a poor town.
It was. I think she borrowed it from someone.
Stop it. She looked amazing. That was a perfect dress for her exit, because, and I don't think that
was her plan.
I'm going to tell you why. Because it was a short dress. Okay. Yeah. So often it's like, oh, I've got to dress up. It's got to be long. No, she's wearing a short dress that was gathered up a little bit. So it was flippy. And as she's walking out, that dress was going, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, all the way through those temple arches.
I think Storm's saying that to himself nightly. Oh, replace the you with the me.
I thought she looked. It was a perfect dress for her.
She was absolutely beautiful, and if she didn't borrow it, I'm sure that wardrobe paid for it for her, because she didn't have enough clothes. Coming from a poor town in South Carolina, we're gonna get to the MG of it all. Hold on. Dr. Will says, CK, you have not been kind to me, and it's MG. Dr. Will runs off and then comes back. MG hugs everyone, refuses to hug Dr. Will, does her post-game confessional, claims that Dr. Will is garbage as a person. And at this point, the Golden God says, I'm now coming after Dr. Will. Okay, so here's the irony of life as we know it. MG,
who does she work for?
No longer living in Poorville, South Carolina. MG is living in Los Angeles, working for Dr. Will.
She works in sales for Laser Away. Hello. So she got her payback.
Yeah. I talking with MG, Dr. Will, after the game, reached out to MG and was just like, where do you live? You know, and wherever it is in South Carolina. And I'm sure it's a very wonderful town. I'm just making fun.
It's just small town.
It's just, yes. And he was just like, you're too young and you're too beautiful to not experience life. And LA is life, you know, coming from someone that lived out there for 8 years. It's not for everyone. I understand that, but it does seem like it could be something for MG. It is something for MG. Dr. Will got her out there, got her in a place, gave her a job. I love how you can think one thing and life goes, hey, how about this instead?
Exactly. I love the I guess it'd be like a juxtaposition, you know what I'm saying, that what her thoughts of him were on the show and the reality after the show are so polar. She called him trash. He's not just trash.
He is garbage as a person.
Garbage. As a person, he's awful. He is garbage. And she works for him now. She just called her boss garbage.
She didn't. I chatted with her via text last night, and we're doing an interview with her later today. So get ready, folks. But she said that was very hard for, like, she was like, how bad was I may have seen a few minutes early. She goes, how bad was it? And I was like, it hurt. I mean, because as I said, I don't know everyone, and we have feelings for some players as viewers more so than others. But, I made fun of MG on the first episode. It was like, who is this chick? She got, they're interchangeable. And then, she calls me out on Instagram. She's like, fuck you, Johnny Fairplay. I'll tell you who MG is. And then, I have her on and she's great. And then episode 2, she gets plenty of airtime. Episode 3, she gets plenty, So the editors made amends. There was a lot of storytelling to do with Parvati and the Golden God in episode 1.
Of course.
In spite of being a 2-hour episode or whatever, still it was, here's a brief glimpse at everyone else. And for those that don't know, here's why we're paying Parvati what we're paying, and here's why we're paying the Golden God what we're paying.
Exactly. I think she's been under-edited, definitely way under-edited on the first episode.
Yeah, but she got it back.
And she got it back on the next few. And they built it up, of course, with previews with the relationship with Storm.
Yeah.
And I don't think they've shown as much of her personality, though, as I would have liked to have seen, because when they first announced the cast, MG and I were messaging back and forth and talking about, it's like, oh my gosh, and I'm playing mom from season 1, and it's like, let me know if you have any questions, anything I can help you with. There's going to be rough times, there's going to be easy times, and you're going to roll with it. And I know you're going to be a hero here. And Philip, I'd say she and Philip were the two that I really even felt the genuine them before the show ever started. Storm I hadn't talked to, but I've talked to him since, and really, really a nice guy. He's not the douche that you think he's going to be when you look at him,
I believe that.
Yeah, no. So I wish they could have shown a little bit more of her personality, and I wish they had a little more gaming, but she was a great addition.
What do you think about the showmance? Like on Survivor, you have 2 tribes of 8 or 6 or 3 tribes of 6 or 2 tribes, whatever the dynamic is. And if there's a showmance, that's a target, because that's 2 people that are voting the same direction. Me on the other hand, I'm a glass half full in life, but I'm a glass half empty as far as relationships are concerned. I'm just like, let them be a showmance, because shit ain't gonna work out. They're gonna fucking hate each other in 9 days. So, and I'm here to pick up the scraps and use that relationship against each other. So that's, let it go. But they were still in the honeymoon phase.
Yeah,
I feel, and Philip was saying this last week, the a showmance on Deal or No Deal Island, it's not like you guys vote.
No, it's not like you vote. But if me as a separate player has a great relationship with one of them and not a great relationship, or don't really have any interaction with the other one, and they're sitting at the top, one of them is sitting at the top safe, that's two people deciding which of the two are going to play against the banker. And that could get dirty.
See, I like that, in that, okay, so say I'm friends with one and not the other. There's two people at the top. I'm using my influence on the one to influence the other. You
would hope.
It
depends on who the dominant
one. I feel that that's what I bring to the world of reality television. Is my is my ability to influence the one person to influence the other person.
And I think it could flip the other way. So if the one that you're friends with is
the beta,
and the one you're not friends with is the alpha.
Yeah. Then I'm typically going to be friends with the alpha.
I think it kind of, in Deal or No Deal Island, it forces you to be a part of that relationship, which I like. I like that dynamic that could happen with it. At the same time, you know what? You've got to be a strong player. You're a strong player, Johnny.
Yeah.
Okay. Other people are not. Yeah. And that's where it could cause problems. If you're in the bottom two and you want to play the banker and you've got to convince a couple, or you have to put one of the two because one of the two is in the bottom two, and you're
is there forgivability by the other?
Exactly.
Yeah. You know,
so
or I think we were cool, but you took out my boyfriend. So
exactly.
So I feel there's less repercussions on Dondi versus Survivor.
Oh, yeah.
I do see some potential problems, but I'll allow it on Dondi. Yeah. And I'm watching a TV show. Who doesn't want to watch love?
Well, yeah.
I don't hate it. It's not like this isn't Love Island, okay?
Right. This isn't The Bachelor. It's not Love Island.
So if it comprises of this much of the show, I'm for it.
Oh yeah. Don't let it get more than like 10%.
Yeah.
Or an 80-20 rule. Don't allow it to be more than that 20%.
Yeah. And I don't think it was there. I don't think it was getting there. So and I love the giving Storm the massage. I'm just like, I'm just like, come on. I disliked it so much I loved it.
It was innocent. Yeah. It was
but if I'm there, I'm losing my. And I think Dixon was losing his mind. It's just like, why didn't I get the massage? I'm your brother.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. He wanted the massage, and he didn't get it.
Yeah.
Therefore, he's going to get rid of the guy who got the massage.
Yeah. Guess who's not getting massages? Episode 5.
Yeah. No. I don't think that it's as big of a part of Dondi as it is. It's not as big of a threat level as it is on Survivor or on Big Brother. Yeah. That's a threat level.
Yeah. So no, it's Big Brother, I just find it obnoxious. So
well, they don't show the HOH room at night anymore. There's a reason.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So anyway, all right. Yeah. Well, Kim, I think we did good here. I would love to have you back. This is the insight that people know and love when they check out reality after show, and holy moly, did you bring it? So I feel like it's amazing talking the talk with the people that can walk the walk.
You know what? I appreciate that so much. And Johnny, thank you for having me on here. I love talking these reality shows, and I will talk about it. Bring me on. The Genius is coming out. Genius UK is going to be threat levels that you wouldn't believe. But I'm here for any of it because I do watch The Traitors. House of Villains, you betcha, since season 1. I even was given Jesse shit about pulling a wrestling move and having Wes get on his knees to beg at the end. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Jesse, that's wrestling. And
that is, well, he's a wrestler.
I know he is. I thought that was amazing. But I do have one thing. Can we take just a minute, unless you want to do it at a different time? I want to talk about what Wes brought up in one of his interviews about there to compete to win whatever the prize money is versus there for television.
Yeah, we can absolutely discuss it. I agree. I would say 1,000,000%. I would agree 200,000%. When I went to go do House of Villains, I went to make good television. That's the only reason I was there. And the next to last episode, I had the mindset of trying to win, and I think Bananas. I think myself and Bananas both shifted gears to win, and I think we both made crappy television, and both showed versions of ourselves that weren't optimal for either. I think I came across as weak, and I think Bananas came across as an asshole.
And, he was definitely douchery at the end there.
And I think we're both in agreement. We both hated that next to last episode. So and I think it's both of it, because just the competitor in both of us, we turned off the let's make good TV button and turned on the it's time to win the game button. And as I said, that next to last episode is, for me, is nearly unwatchable, and probably for Bananas too. And then at the end, we were just like, like, blah, 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 blah. Okay, remember the assignment. We're here to make fucking television. Let's make television. So, going forward, I had a conversation just last week with my fiance. Not if, but when I go back for, whether it be Dondi season 3 or Traitors season 4, whatever it is, as much as I would love $200,000, or as much as I would love $1 million, I understand the assignment. My assignment is to make good television. So, and that's why if you go back and watch Survivor Pearl Islands, I wanted to create the character of Johnny Fairplay, have that character on television for as long as possible, have creative control over that character, and make it one of the most memorable characters ever. I did that. I did not have on my list of 4 things to do have win $1 million, because that was not the goal. Should have been, I thought, but in retrospect, no, it shouldn't have, because we wouldn't be having this conversation right now 22 years later, because I am remembered. I did understand the assignment. I just went to make good television, or great television, and did that. And the winning was like, the end of that game is not the same.
Right. I'll agree with you. And I think that now, me as a reality TV virgin, last season, in season 1, I went in to win. I wanted to win. When I saw Rob, I wanted to win even more, because I would be beating Rob. I think with the TV virgins, you see true personalities. Okay. And some people have big personalities. Some people know how to tell a story. And this is where Sequester helped me out, is because I remember my confessionals when I did Sequester Live with Audrey, and she taught me how to tell a story.
Sure.
Okay. To tell the story of the show, to be able to give them a storyline to edit, to make a show. And that came into play when I was on Dobby.
Yeah.
That is one of the reasons why I did get a lot of airtime. I had a lot of confessionals in the first 4 episodes.
And it was, no, you're without sequester. It's a fraction.
They would have had the personality, but they would not have had the storyteller.
Yeah, no, it would have been more of Rob telling your story.
Exactly.
That doesn't work. I mean, it does, but not for you.
Not in this situation.
Not for the viewer either. For the viewer, it was fun. It was Rob going, this old lady won't leave me alone. It's just like, this old lady's here to ruin this fatso that won't stay off of television.
And then at the same time, he's saying in the very first episode, which I think was actually recorded a little later, but that's beside the point. And he said, she is the best challenger in this game.
Yep.
That's all there is to it. She is the best. And this is episode 1, because I watched that and I'm like, dude, that is my Christmas card quote this year. Because to have Rob say that. But at the same time, we were able to play our stories against each other and tell the story and make TV. My goal wasn't necessarily to make great TV, but I knew what the assignment was, and I was going to give them what my experience would allow.
Yeah.
Rob, obviously more experienced.
Sure.
Claudia, more experienced. They've done TV.
Yeah.
So I think you have to have a good mix, and I think this is where the casting people are challenged, and I would challenge them right now. I don't care who it is, whether it's Allison or Jesse or any of them that are casting for these shows, are get the people on there that are willing to compete, that are willing to be a mess, that are able to tell the story, that know the assignment, because you get virgins with those qualities, you've got a top tier cast.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah.
And I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't need I feel like Survivor, the new era, kind of morphed into who's got the sad story and who can say, I don't give a fuck about that. I'm sorry. If you were picked on in high school, guess what? We were all picked on in high school. The people that did the picking on, they're still walking around with their Letterman's jackets, and I'm making fun of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're not having sex with their wives.
or they are, it's just not their wives.
Just not their wife.
Yeah, exactly.
So I get it, but I don't need that. So
no.
And if you have that, have the other to complement it. I want the now, if that sucked, great. But I want the now is awesome.
Yeah.
And show me how awesome you are. So Philip, case in point.
Exactly. He's showing you, okay, yeah, that's what it was, but this is what it is now.
Yeah.
And here,
I'll allow that. So, but I don't need I got picked on, and then you just walk around like this. Like, I don't need you walking around like this. That's not cute.
Yeah. And by telling the story, I don't necessarily want your whole life story. What I want is the story of the game. What is driving you here? What the hell are you going to mess up in and do wrong because you've never done it before? And I want to see the change in the game. I want those ebbs and tides. So I agree with Wes when he's saying the assignment is to make good TV.
Yep.
I can promise you in Dondi season 1, we talked about it more than once when we were sitting around, just talking. And obviously they're not going to show it on camera. Yeah. And we're saying one of our goals as a cast is that there be a season 2.
Yeah.
And there's not a season 2 if we are not doing a great job competing and telling the story and living the mess.
Yeah.
There's not going to be a season 2 and we are literally chasing Kelsey. You remember that show by any chance?
No.
Look it up. They were chasing, it was The Bachelor going after Travis Kelce.
Oh God. Okay.
It was called Chasing Kelce, one season.
Yeah.
The difference, you don't remember that,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
I only remember it because I knew one of the women on it.
Sure.
But we remember Survivor.
Yeah.
Because it got renewed and renewed and renewed. We remember Big Brother. We remember House of Villains that grew from season 1 to season 2. And we remember Dondi going from season 1 to season 2. And it's going to get renewed for sure.
Yeah. No, I keep track of the ratings, and they're going up and down in numbers. They're going up and down in the demo, and that's but it's all positive.
It's all positive, and it's going against its own show, The Traitors. Right now.
Well, I mean, as far as what the reality show of the week that everyone's talking about, it was so crazy because I feel like Traitors was kind of kicking Dondi's ass as far as the drama.
Right.
Episodes 1 through 3, and then episode 4, Dixon's like, hold my beer. It's like, he goes, you want to watch something traitorous? This is it. And I'm just like, okay, well, on my bingo card, I did not have Dixon as the person to make the first traitorous move.
Seriously, he was not at the top. I I knew that he would do something villainous.
Yeah.
But that was 4, not.
Episode 4 and before Mommy and Daddy.
Exactly. And a more traitorous move, honestly, than I think Will pulled off.
Yeah.
So, and
I think that's bothering Will.
I think it is a little bit too.
Yeah, I think he wanted to get his revenge on the rope pull, and he's just like, this motherfucker is fucking up everything for me.
Exactly. Here, I'm just going to push the button before Joe asks.
Yeah.
But no, I think we're just on the uphill.
Yeah,
on this.
I did too.
So, Johnny, anyway, I just kind of wanted to bring that up, see what your thoughts were on that.
I'm with, absolutely. So yeah, I it pains me to say because my wallet and my wallet for my 2 kids and my smoke show fiance screams one thing, but logic and my smoke show fiance say another, and it's good TV. Good TV first. Come on, do
exactly.
Know where your bread's buttered.
But you know what? And that's why you get returning players. That's why you get appearance fees that virgin players don't get.
Yeah.
And kind of don't understand sometimes, but it is what it is. But there's a reason why you get those.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. It's funny because, like, on the challenge, there's so many people that play, and there's people that make fun of certain players, or just like, oh, you never won, or you only won once, or whatever, and you would be. I'm not going to give a number because I'm just not. But I'll tell you this: there's tiers on the challenge, and if you've played 5 seasons, you get up to this amount. If you played 10, whatever, the number to show up, on one of these higher tier things, the number to show up first out is a 6-figure number, and it ain't a little 6-figure number. Right. Just to fucking walk out there.
Show up out there. That's all you got to do.
And that's the people that do the great television and understand the assignment.
But to get a bigger 6-digit number, when you just show up, you better show up big, and you're going to be back. That's why they're returning on the challenge so much.
Yeah.
Because they are making good TV. They're still competing. They're showing their competitive edge in it. They're good TV. That's simple. And one of these days, I keep wondering if any of the players this season on Dondi walked away with, do you see all the folds in it? This was the very first note from the banker on Dondi season 1. First note we got. And I thought, again, remember, we don't know the rules. We don't know anything, right? Yeah. And I thought, I wonder if this has a clue in it for some sort of an advantage. My survivor mind is going, all this. and there's all these bends in it. It's because I rolled this damn thing up. I read it to everybody.
Yeah.
I kind of passed it around, got it back to me, and I rolled this thing up and I put it inside the brim of my cap.
Yeah.
And kept it just in case. And then it's like, well, it's already got folds on it. I'll take it home. And kept it in that hat. Never wore that hat again. And just ran across this. I forgot I had it until a week ago.
I'm a big proponent of this is season 1.
Oh, puzzle pieces. That's awesome.
Yes. So there you go. Yeah. Well, Kim, where can everybody find you on the socials?
I'm Kim Mattina everywhere.
Oh, there we go. So do you do the TikTok?
You know what? I've never been. I like jumping on there once in a while. I keep saying I'm going to do it, and then it went away, and I still got it. Yeah. I never got rid of it. So I don't know. Maybe one of these days. But I like Instagram.
Okay, I love Instagram is my favorite. I'm on the Twitter. I'm on the Blue Sky. I don't do a lot with it, but I'm on there, and it seems like a much friendlier place.
It does seem friendlier, which is good, which is nice. Sometimes you need a break from the drama, you know.
Yes. So, so at Kim Mattina, that's 2 T's, 1 N. Kim Mattina. I'm at Johnny Fairplay on everything but TikTok. I'm at Fairplay Talk. But at Johnny Fairplay, no H in Johnny. Go to johnnyfairplay.com for links to everything. I am going there's links to my Cameo, all those things. Links for the podcast. If you're listening on audio, search Reality After Show, and it's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, all the things. And if you just want to watch, it's youtube.com/aftershow. But of course, I make it cool. If you go to dondiaftershow.com, that takes you there. If you go to tradersaftershow.com, it takes you there. Survivoraftershow.com, it all takes you to youtube.com/aftershow. And appearance-wise, I just have a few things on the plate. On the plate right now is it's the premiere of Survivor season 48. I will be in Norwalk, Connecticut with Best Trivia Ever. This is like the greatest trivia group out there. They do really cool stuff. And so go to besttriviaever.com, get your tickets right now to join me February 27th for the premiere of Survivor season 48. And then March 9th, I'm at Boca Raton Wrestling Federation in Boca Raton, Florida. More details to come on there. And then March 16th and 17th, or 15th and 16th, one of those, Saturday and Sunday, Sunday and Monday. Oh, it's early, folks. I'm going to be in Sydney, Australia, and then Melbourne, Australia. We will be having a watch party for Australia Survivor Brains versus Brawn 2.
Can't wait.
Get ready. SurvivorTix.com will have your tickets here shortly. So very excited on that. I will be doing a daily podcast after each episode with Eden from Rebels versus Titans. He will be joining me daily, and then weekly I will be doing a weekly summation podcast with Dan Monchel, who you guys know from the Challenge podcast, and Chrissy from Blood versus Water. So we will have a lot of fun with that. Tons of coverage for Australian Survivor this go around. And then, check out the Challenge podcast. They're talking All-Star Season 5. It's Paulie Calafiore, one of my favorites. He's joined by Dan Monchel and Alex Trias. And then every Friday, myself, Rachel Riley, and Jen Hoffman talking the Traders. And then I'm here talking Dondi with whoever will join me. I've gotten lucky that we've had all winners so far. My luck will run out, I'm sure. Luke may show up, and it's downhill from there. But Kim, thank you so much.
$1.
Yeah, we almost went 2 hours. How crazy is this?
That's crazy. If you need to edit the hell out of it,
no, we leave it up. People, hey,
we've been talking.
We're talking the cool stuff. So there we go. So thank you, Kim. Everybody check back later today. I will be joined by MG to talk about what went wrong and the whole Dr. Will of it all. But until next time, bye everybody.
Thanks, Johnny. Bye-bye.